see, pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, before we adopt the agenda, I would just like to say that the old business is supposed to be the 2027 budget discussion, not just the whole year of 2027, and whatever we envision to. I need a motion to adopt the agenda. I'll move. Second. Okay.
What's the second? You got two.
We have 2 seconds. You want to arm wrestle?
I withdraw my second. Yeah, no, you got it too late.
All right, any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approving the May minutes, the regular minutes, we need a motion to approve those minutes from May.
I got one thing that needs to be changed.
From May 12th.
Stop checking everything. In minutes, it showed we got a $600 grant from Larry to fund a poetry writing class. We have not received that 600 grant.
With that,
We've
been,
So
I've gotten the email letting us know that we've been awarded it.
Okay, so I'll change it to awarded and not.
Yeah, we'll probably get the check sometime in July, I think.
yeah, because I just want someone saying, hey, we're at 600.
Absolutely.
So,
So I'll make the change, so it says, instead of saying received, it says was awarded.
Okay, thank
so do we have to wait till next meeting and you've made the change to approve it, or do we approve it and you change it?
Approve it pending the change.
All right,
Okay. And then I'll bring a copy.
you.
okay,
Yeah, I just
Yep.
don't want somebody looking for $600.
so I'm gonna make a motion, which I can do, to accept the May 12th regular meeting minutes with the change of the term received to awarded. I need a second. All in favor, or any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. The approval for the amended meeting minutes from the March 18th meeting. The only reason we have to amend those is for search sake. We made the vote correctly, we filed the paperwork correctly, we met the deadline correctly, but we needed to put the actual resolution title in there instead of just saying that we mentioned the resolution.
And we added the full, language of. the
Full
resolution
language.
In both cases, which I should be doing as only tax applications.
So I move that we accept those amended meeting minutes from March 18th. Second. Seconded. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye.
Yep.
Okay. I would like to thank Josh, as this is your last official meeting, I think, unless we need a special meeting before the end of June for the budget, if we don't get it
Oh.
tonight. I do. I think it's only fair to just put it on the table. But thank you, Josh, for your service to the community and the library. I was present for Chris Whitrock, who took the oath of office at the town hall, because it has to be done in front of a notary public, and then filed in the county. And so she's taken her oath, but in July, we will swear you in when we have our reorganizational meeting, whatever that first meeting in July is. I would just like to express appreciation for everyone who voted yes to approve the new tax levy. But I also want to make a commitment to saying that, you know, the vote was pretty close and that we need to keep listening to those who voted no and making sure that we're doing our best to hear and serve everyone in the community. I had a lot of communication with Robert Schofield Collin.
Did you?
So, I was, yeah, he was actually, he responded quickly and did a great job when Roger, Nelligan, correct?
No,
Had questions about things in terms of the presentation of the budget and whatnot. Robert was great. He was great in communicating with, Robert was great in communicating with Roger. He responded quickly. And then I had a phone conversation with him where I was quite blunt.
No chance.
And I said, no, I was.
Never seen you blunt, but anyway.
I said, if this does not get resolved, we will have to seek other representation, and referenced that issue, the insurance issue. And he explained it again in a different way. And I said, Robert, I really would like this on paper, your explanation on paper, so that I'm not saying you told me this and Colin heard this and blah, 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 blah. I wanted it on paper. And he says he is going to send that to me. So I'm hopeful,
Oh, good luck.
cautiously hopeful that you will see that and it will be
Oh, we'll see something.
satisfactory.
Something.
But otherwise, I did say, I said, look, this is the thorn in the side. This is the thing that is continuing to emerge as we're not being served through your office. But I want to temper that a little bit with the fact that he worked very hard to help us with an issue that you wouldn't even have seen because he was communicating with me, he was communicating with Roger. So I do want to say he was very helpful.
But my biggest pet peeve here is, and everybody here on the board and new board member, what we have paid him
Mhm.
with zero results. Now I got it right here, in case you want to see it tonight, $12,000.
Which is one of the reasons why I want his explanation on paper, because he addresses some
Our
of
last
that.
conversation, as you know, he was gonna get us $5,000 or $6,000 back because we paid this and paid that.
Yeah.
When I see that and I see that check, then I will be satisfied.
Yeah,
But
I-
till then,
I know. I don't want to keep going around
Well,
about
no,
it.
I
It
don't
sounded like actually we may owe him money that he's not billing us, was my last conversation, but that's why I don't even want to have it.
how do
like,
we owe him money?
That's what I want to have on paper to answer, because it was a complicated conversation. So when I get that, I will,
Just for the record, this is the 17th month
yes,
that I have showed interest in this
I know.
and got zero cooperation. Okay, thank you.
I'm aware, but
Thank
I said, if we don't get resolution, we have to look for other representation. So I was pretty clear cut on
Well, I
that.
appreciate your time.
And I don't think I have anything else there. So, that's my president's report and it's your turn.
My turn?
Take it away.
Okay. Several things we've got to discuss tonight. One of them is the new contract for oil for next year has to be in next week. So we'll discuss that on the new business. I'll just leave this in folder for now. This is kind of old business. Finally, after numerous conversations with National Grid, I got us a $1,279.49 reimbursement from 7% sales tax.
give me that number again, Colin.
$1,279.49.
Good work.
And I spoke to
Yeah.
Tammy because she was not even aware of it. So our next 3 or 4 grid bills should be zero,
Okay.
just for the record there, okay? In front of you, shows everything that we paid. Marion got us a grant paid from Southern Adirondack Library. It was 3,600 change. Also a small one for, books and craft grant money. What did I want?
And the one, the $3,600 one is to cover the OATS program that we do to teach, it's older technology training for, seniors.
Mhm.
And we can use that to help cover, Claire's wages if we want to, or we can use it for copies, or there's a long list of things that we can use it for.
Mhm.
Also, just so you know, why they're giving $900 to Backcountry Lawn Care. They should have been paid that in January. They never told us they needed their other half, so that's on the payroll to be paid tonight. And I'm moving 20,000 out of the, large, interest bearing account. To put in with what we got there now, it's a little higher than I'd like it to be, but. This month's meeting is very early and we're gonna spend some money this next 4.5 weeks, so, just so, Florida knows.
Okay,
So, I guess I'd make a motion to accept these bills in the report.
I second.
Thank you.
any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Thank you, Colin. Actually, before we go to the secretary's report, it's in the minutes, but for anybody that's watching on Zoom or for our public here, I did want to make it very clear that in a board that's under 12 people large, so we're just 5 people, the president is a full participant, can make motions and vote on the motions, so. Just wanted to say that.
That's what I was gonna say to my.
And you,
secretary.
oh,
I
I'm
have
so
nothing else.
sorry.
No
Oh, I'm
problem.
sorry.
It's just, that's Robert's rule.
And you're
For small-
sit up here as well, right?
Correct.
Well, you can.
Well, it was Marion that I think. Thank you.
Oh,
I shouldn't say it, but we are,
I'm allowed to
we,
sit here at the board's
we want-
invitations.
yeah. I am, I
That's no problem.
apologize.
It doesn't matter. I just wanted to make sure that it was said.
Do you have anything else for your secretary?
I do not.
Okay,
I'm gonna be taking the, there's cells, no, it's a,
the input training?
yeah, no, it's, what is it called? It's the trustees handbook book club. And there's one coming up on legal matters that board members should know, so I
Yeah.
think that's gonna be pretty useful. So I'm gonna be taking that. They are recorded, so anyone wants to look at it afterwards. And it does count toward your annual training. That's on, June 17th.
Legal matters. June 17th. All right. What time of day is that?
I think it's at 5, from 5 to 6:30, I think.
Cause the
It's a
last,
Zoom meeting.
the last time I signed up for one that we could do on Zoom, we watched it here together, Colin and Beth and I.
Mhm.
And then we could all just do our self-assurances if that's something you're interested in.
Yeah, we can do that.
If
I think
anybody else wanted to do that.
17th is a Wednesday.
Or Wednesday?
Yeah.
Okay. Is anybody else interested in doing that at 5 on, well, are you interested in doing it here or no?
I have to check my work schedule.
Okay,
I don't know if
okay.
I'm in the
All right.
office or here on, but I think I'm done on Wednesday.
Okay,
Might be interested.
I can sign up for it. We can just do it together at one of our homes if we needed to. All good.
Oh, good.
All right, Marion, the manager's report.
Okay, not a lot this month, because we take June to kind of catch our breaths and gear up for the fun in the sun this summer. Just to make sure you're aware, to remind you that Friday, June 19th, we will be closed in observance of a holiday, Juneteenth. I have exhausted the list from civil service. And I'm now advertising for the clerk / program support position, here through the library and whatnot. And that just happened, the end of last week. And, so working with civil service to make sure all that's done, appropriately,
And is that full-time, part-time?
part-time,
Part-time.
yeah.
And is, Taylor still?
Taylor's still here.
Full-time?
Yeah, she's working,
Or part-time?
yeah, she averages like 7.5, 8 hours a week. Unless she fills in for myself or Claire, which was something she said she would do. So we maintain that 2-person. And then, hopefully this other person would be able to help with that as well. But, civil service would not let me create a new position. I guess I got my one shot with Taylor's position. So I had to be a clerk, which was why I had to go through civil service. There were 4 people who were interested. 3 of them ended up declining because they couldn't meet the minimum schedule requirements. And then one said he wanted it, but after interviewing him, he wasn't available 2 out of the 3 days either. And I'm like, but, so hopefully we'll find somebody. We'll keep limping along until we do.
How many hours are you offering them?
15 to 20.
I know we voted on 16, I think it was.
It was 15 to 20 was the.
Was it?
Yeah.
Where are you advertising? Where are you advertising?
So far, it's just on our website, because like I said, this just came to fruition the end of last week, so I had to wait till I was done with civil service before I could start advertising. The last time I advertised, I did it, obviously, Facebook, our website. I was gonna advertise on, in the Chronicle.
It stays in the Chronicle.
Well, what would you recommend?
Well, I'm just saying, I mean, if you want to spend $350, it's fine.
Well, it wasn't that much.
So much of it.
Because I did just a real short thing, and so they could go to the website and get most of the information. I think we ran it for 3 weeks and it was like $120.
I looked it up, not listed Chronicle, but a lot more than that. It was for the last ad of some sort you put in there. I'd have to go back through.
Yeah, I don't even think I spent $300 in advertisement this year. But, so, and then, the volunteer applications and information are on the website. And I am also, I've looked it up, I've got things downloaded. Putting together the harassment training for, the volunteers. New York State provides a, 1 hour, approximately 1 hour YouTube video, and then they also provide, questions for them to ask. So that, because a video is not enough, they have to also answer questions. And then the only really item I have really to, discuss is, June 27th, is our summer reading kickoff. Unearth a Story is our theme. And we are looking for volunteers. The actual program will run from 11 to 3, but we're looking for volunteers between 10 and 4.
That's on Saturday.
It's a Saturday. Yep. I have reached out to Stewart's, a little over a month ago, for a donation to do Sundays. I'm waiting to hear from them.
Get better.
I hope so. They did last year and it was awesome. And then just one thing I did forget to add on the news and updates, just of interest, on June 17th, we will be receiving Saratoga County's bicentennial display, and we'll have that for 2 weeks. I know we're at America's 250, but I still thought it was really cool to have the bicentennial, and it's because it's specific to Saratoga County when we do represent towns in that county. And there are going to be some artifacts and stuff that people can come in and take a look at. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Do they say how much room it's gonna take?
Yeah, it's just one tall, like 6x3, and then it's just a little, we're gonna put it right up front, near the new and popular books. That way it can be kept watch, and then there'll be a camera on it at all times as well. Other than that, it's just statistics, unless somebody has a question.
I brought up back in April about getting some CPR and choke and sign in here. We haven't seen them yet, right?
No, I did start to look for them, and, thank you for the reminder.
Also, Marion, the idea about reaching out to the school. I mean, I know they're busy now and you're busy, but to try to maybe organize that, drop off for Town of Day. Stony Creek students that want to come in that after school period. Do you remember what I'm talking about? Colin was concerned that we weren't serving all these other districts that are contributing. So the dismissal bus is at if it's the same, it's near 2:15 in that neighborhood. And then there's a late bus that would take kids at 3:15. And if they could sign up at school with an aide to have the bus come here, let kids get out, look at least for books, it's not for programming so much, it would not enough time. And then get right on that late bus to go home, it wouldn't really take anybody really out of their way or cost any more money, but it would allow us to at least offer something to those kids in terms of knowing what the library looks like, being able to take books out, puzzles, whatever games that they wanted. DVDs.
Has anybody approached the school about that?
That's what I'm asking, because I didn't approach the school, because I think that Marion would have to be the person to approach the librarian and get the sign up sheets and stuff, because it would all be communication between them and here.
Right,
So,
But you have to start with superintendent, right?
right, 'cause you need to get the
Yeah.
bus.
yes,
Yeah, I have to
Yeah.
reach out to with Burgess.
yeah, Burgess, yeah.
So, and that can't be just,
There would have to be an
Dropped off.
aide
There'd
that
have
would
to be
come with them,
somebody
that,
responsible
but
with
people
them.
do
Yeah.
that for other
programs.
programs.
Right, right. I will say that at least the elementary school is good about backpacking things home for us. I did hear back from Mr. Baker late today that we can backpack home flyers to promote the summer reading program and the kickoff on the 27th. So we appreciate that. And Stony Creek, I saw too, is doing their own summer reading program
I
as
did
well.
see that, yeah,
So,
yeah,
yeah, and it's library wide across the state is the Unearth.
unearth
Yeah,
the
story.
story.
Yes.
What about the oats program?
Claire's gonna start that back up in July.
Okay.
So, I'm sure she's been doing, one program a month and it's actually starting to get a little bit of traction. We're getting
Great.
people to come in. I mean, for the most part, I mean, that program doesn't cost us anything other than Claire's time. You know, and some printing out some resources. So everything is provided for us. So, and like I said, we got that grant from Oates, through Sal's to help cover some of those expenses. We can use it simply to cover her time, or we can use it, we want to do like giveaways for the seniors, you know, like, you know, a password notebook or a stylus, you know.
Yeah.
You know, this is just one of the things we have to talk about, so. I'm still waiting for the, how Jack wants us to track it.
Okay. Are we all set? Okay, so, old business, really new business, old business, new business. The 2027 budget has to be approved by the end of June. And so you have in front of you, Marion, you gonna take us through this? I know Colin has some questions. We have to have a discussion and,
Well, what we have is 3 columns. The first one is the current budget that was approved for this current fiscal year that's ending in a few weeks. In the middle column is the numbers that either I have or Tammy has given me. And, as of the end of May, so obviously we still have the month of June that we're gonna be spending money that, so we don't know the full balance that we spent.
Can I just ask for clarification? When you say the 2026 budget, since our budget year starts in July, are you talking about 2025, 26? Is that how that?
yeah,
No,
Yeah,
new, old budget or new one? Which one?
the budget we are currently,
Old, and
Will end, so
after this, right,
so it's
the
a,
last day of this month.
so it's a 25, 26, and the proposed budget is the 26, 27. It begins on July 1st.
right,
Okay.
so the Senate column is money we brought in and money that we've spent. Tammy made a couple of adjustments, on the front desk deposits. My numbers don't agree with that, but I've not had a chance to verify my numbers against hers. I just got the numbers under last week. I know Colin has some questions on the interest income. Basically everything for the fiscal 27 proposed budget is based on the current budget and what we've spent so far. And obviously making an estimate because we don't know what things are going to actually cost. One thing that was not on the budget that I emailed to everybody, the end of last week is, I had it in the revenue section, the LTC grant that we have been awarded. We have gotten the check for that as well. It was direct deposited.
Is that the $10,000?
Yes, ma'am. And so under capital improvements, I just put that 10,000 there because that money will go towards making capital improvements of this building to make it more ADA compliant. So that money will be spent. It's not just for us to use wherever we want to. So that was just kind of to balance that particular line out. The copier, I added like $500. It looks like we might be over the 1,500. We haven't, I don't know what to do. Actually, I think we did just get June's, so, but I'd rather have a little buffer and be under budget next year than go over.
What one is it?
The equipment, the copier. I think we did just get the June bill. I don't know if she's got that accredited on here or not. So we had budgeted 1,500 and year to date is 1,432. I will say that the faxes and when patrons come in and copy and print, those fees cover the majority of that.
What is that? That's one of my questions. What is the fee? What are we charging?
It's 20 cents aside for black and white
Yep.
and $1 for color. Faxes are $1 each page.
See, I put down, I wonder if we could increase it a little bit, so it's a wash, so it's not costing us anything. We're still helping the community, but, you know, I mean, like a copy instead of 20, 25. Or the color, $1.25. I'm just throwing it out there, just trying to wash an
I mean,
expense.
we could absolutely do that, but I will say a lot of times, and I think Claire will back me up on this, is a lot of people, you know, it's 20 cents and they'll hand you a quarter anyway, so much you keep the change. A lot of our donations are because people, they're like, you know, I've had people give me $3 for a 20-cent
I
charge.
just hate to see us going whole and. You know,
Right,
we're nice enough to pay for the equipment, have it here, and you girls help them out, because everybody gets here. Even myself, sometimes I can't run anything, so I'm not gonna lie. So,
I mean, I think the color copies are probably more expensive enough at $1, but I mean, you can definitely. Willing to consider that, yes. And then again, then we're under insurance, we budgeted 5,400 for this year. It actually came in at 4748. So my proposal was for 5,000. That gives us a little bit of a buffer. Same thing with the umbrella. She has it listed as liability, but I believe it's the umbrella based on what the policy says. And that's just to cover inflation because we haven't got that policy yet. You'll see the New York State workers' comp. We really over budgeted for that this year. So I've adjusted that for the coming year. Same with disability.
Count,
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Yeah, okay.
She gets down insurance and I'm gonna.
Yeah.
Right in there.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean. In a lot of ways. Tammy should have been here probably tonight. With her computer. So we can get things more pinpointed as a board. My question would be, and I'd love to have you correspond, Tammy, is workers' comp and disability should be under payroll. Because it is part of payroll.
Okay.
It's not part of insurance because it shows on your check stub, disability, and you know what I mean? And workers' comp that you're covered, but it is coming out of a payroll expense. That's all I'm
Okay.
saying. All right? Thank you.
Okay, the legal and book processing fees, I just left them as is. For the new budget, the same as this last year. We look like we're coming in a little under budget with payroll and processing. But we still are working on the arrears state comptroller reports that have to go in that have not been done since 2020, I think. I think Tammy's gotten 2 of them done out of the I think there's 5 or 6 that are in arrears plus the current one.
And what is that? Where is that on here? This
It
is,
falls under bookkeeping and payroll processing.
okay,
And that's all one lump sum because, but the thing is they charge us so much to process payroll and they lump it all together. I've tried to split it apart and put it under payroll expenses, but they just lump it all together, so I've left it there for now. I would have to sit down with Tammy, and break that apart more if we want to move actual payroll processing under payroll expenses versus under legal and professional services. So that budget has stayed the same from last year to this year. I anticipate that we will still continue to pay Robert the same that we have. So the alarm system, has come in way under budget so far, unless Colin disagrees with that number, so I actually reduced that allotment for the coming year. Our phone bill has gone up.
wait,
because-
would you have a different number than that?
Not that I'm aware of.
For the alarm system, I have 714. Off of the numbers Tammy gave me.
Yeah, no, I don't have any changes.
Right, so I did it for
Okay.
$1,000 for next year instead of the 25 that we had for this year.
Yep.
And then our,
That's what we pay to the alarm company.
right, yeah, I think it's quarterly we pay. I think it's not every month. And then the phone and internet has gone up. From my understanding from the phone call I had with Spectrum, we are tax exempt. But there are other, service fees, et cetera, that we are not exempt for. And apparently there was a grant or something from the state for a while that was covering them. That is no more. So that's why it's up. We are getting the tax, we're not paying sales tax, but we have to pay all these fees and whatnot. And it's like 138 something. So I rounded it up to 140, multiplied it times 12, and that's how I came up with $1,800. Now, where are you at with National Grid? Are we happy with the 5,000? Do you want that lower with the credit that we
I
have?
think probably leave it at 5.
Okay. And then I
Wait,
know,
Marion, so leaving it at 5, just so that, I know we talked about this when Ted was here. It doesn't mean we're automatically spending that. That's what we budgeted, and whatever it costs, we have to spend, right? So
Right.
you're just, the buffer you're talking about is we're talking about potentially approving a budget that has this much money in it. It doesn't mean we have to
then
spend
we're
that.
gonna spend it all. It's just, I would rather, I mean, this year, if you look at National Grid, we budgeted 35, and so far we've spent almost 4,000.
Okay, right,
So we're over budget.
budget enough.
right.
so
So
we're-
budgeting 5,000 is this,
Well, we're hoping. that-
hopefully staying.
You know, we'll get one more bill.
We just got June's today, the 325.
That's June's.
Yeah, that's June's, it's June's, so.
So. Yeah, I would leave it at 5, definitely. Not
Okay.
Going lower, man.
Okay,
Not the way National Grid is.
So,
Yep.
and I know you
We're
said,
saving some by no more tax, but still,
right,
gotcha.
okay.
Mhm.
and then, for fuel, we budgeted 6,000 for this current year. The number I have is almost 8,000,
It's $8,440.
$8,440. Okay,
That's what they, spent a long
Right.
time down there this week.
oh, I believe it, I know you said
Trying to
good.
get, and like I said, we gotta bring it up on a new business, decide
That's
we're
what
gonna do.
So that's why I budgeted 10,000, because like I said, my number there is not just, is just under 8. We're not seeing signs of fuel costs coming down. So,
Well, we got some proposals there, so I'm gonna say it's probably gonna be right around 8,500 for next year.
so do you want it to
According
be 85 or do you want to keep it at 10?
I think it's safer to keep it at 10.
Okay, we'll leave it at 10.
I mean, again.
We don't
it
have to
doesn't mean-
spend 10.
Right, no. Jumping back and forth in business and this, but, I like to send 2,100 gallons for this next year.
Okay,
We were at almost 1,900.
2,100 gallons.
what I want us to do. And I'll get into that in new business. Anybody
Okay.
wants to look at this?
And that's it,
And we
at
got-
85,
I'm sorry.
and that's 85. 8,500. For that.
Yeah.
That's what I'm.
Wait,
I'm gonna
what's
say.
19? Okay,
But if we want to leave it at 10, we'll leave it at 10. That's fine. But I'm just saying,
But I mean, are we locked into a price or does it
well,
fluctuate?
you want to talk about that now? We can. I don't care.
I'm,
we can talk about it now. Actually, I think it belongs here in the old business because it's applying to the budget that we are going to have to
Okay.
approve if we approve it, you know, I
because
mean,
we want to be able to pay our fuel,
So
yeah,
because we don't want to be cold.
right,
I'm just going to preach here what I think we should do.
okay,
After talking today with them, like I said, I told her I
Rapido, is that in Rapido? Okay,
want them to be locked in at 2,100 gallons for the next year. Okay. Our budget price, which it's a crapshoot, but it's probably the safest way to go, is $4.59. Okay. We would end up giving them, starting first of next month, $800 a month. That's, okay, that's
okay,
the way it looks like right now.
Okay.
All right. If we are locked in at 2,100 gallons, and we want to throw the dice and say we're just gonna pay the price. So if the oil drops down to $3 a gallon,
we're still locked in,
we're still pay $4.79,
right,
okay?
For
So-
but if it goes up to something, we're not gonna,
$4.59.
yeah,
Okay, so they don't adjust the price as it has.
That's the lock.
So that's
that's the lock-in trick.
that's the lock of the game.
Yeah.
So if, and that's why I'm not gonna make that decision, the board is, which way you wanna go. If oil goes to $8 a gallon, we're gonna be paying probably 15,000 instead of 10 that we're budgeting. So
What's the total we pay at the lock-in? I know you, 800 times 12 is
You said $4.59 a gallon?
it's $4.59 a gallon.
800 a month, you said, right?
Yeah, that's,
So 8,000,
Within-
so it's 9,600, is that right?
mhm.
So proud of myself. 9,600.
But if we don't use that much oil, we're not going to have to pay that much, you see what I'm saying?
Mhm, right,
So it's, that's why I was saying 8,500 would be my guess that we're gonna use.
Right.
So it's kind of up to the board what they want to do. There has been times, and she showed me the oil was almost $6.60 a gallon,
yeah,
and we're getting the 30 cents off per gallon, but we're still paying $6.30.
yeah. Mhm.
So
What would you do for your personal choice? You don't have a crystal ball, we're not gonna hold it against you, you know, like, but what do you think is the best choice?
my personal opinion, I really hate to even say it, but I will. I think oil's gonna go down.
US Energy Information Administration estimates $4.23 a gallon for fiscal year 2027. So, but Iran seems pretty resilient too, so.
So, yeah, I mean, I guess we want to be safe. We know exactly what we're gonna pay
Mhm.
at the very most.
Mhm.
And we don't use that much oil, say it's a real warm winter, which we don't know. This year was extremely cold,
So cool,
It's hung on forever.
so we might not even use that. But I
okay,
got us reserved that much oil. Because if we use over that, then we don't pay dearly.
right,
Well, if we use over it, we pay
the
Market
market
price.
price.
And it's $8 a gallon is what we're gonna pay.
Yeah. What do you think, Maggie?
It's hard to say, things have been so volatile. If your projection was saying it's gonna be $3, I would say it's not. A good-
4.39,
Right, but it's pretty close.
yeah.
So I think locking in probably makes sense. I mean, it could go higher.
Oh, you're saying if the projection.
If the projection
$3,
was,
Yeah,
well, if the
yeah.
projection was, they're
I was like,
definitely gonna
you
go.
are so inaccurate, you say it's close.
No,
I
no, no, no,
understand that.
if the projection were saying it was gonna really.
Got it.
And here again, you know, I just, wanna know which way to go, and then I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm gonna go down there and say, look, because they want our business. It's a pretty good shot in the arm, right here in the back door, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
I'm gonna ask them if they could maybe shave 5 cents off that.
Okay,
Okay, but I need to know from the board.
Yeah.
What she says at the bottom line with her head management. So I'm gonna hit it, because that's what we gotta do. She's giving me to the 15th of this month.
what do you think, Beth?
I have, no, I don't know, I haven't been following.
I mean, I'm
lots
hearing
more
lock
if you
in from
want.
you, right? No,
I'm fairly neutral on it. I don't
you're
know.
neutral?
If you
Sure,
want,
sure, you're not gonna be here.
No, I don't know what is the best decision on it, because
No, I mean,
it's
none
kind
of
of
us
like
can
throwing,
tell.
throwing money in the air. and
Or if
seeing
we
where it
want, we can
lands.
close the library, January, February, March and April.
Okay, let's lock
And
in,
then-
let's lock
Wait,
in
then
the
we can say,
oil, let's lock in the oil and let's.
Yeah. Well, my question is, because my husband and I mean, we do a budget plan. We're not with Mervato, but, and our budget payment per month is based on whatever the current price of fuel oil is gonna be, when we get our budget plan. And we order X number of gallons for the year, we pay so much.
That's
But when
what,
they come and deliver it to us, they knock 7 cents off whatever the going rate is, because we're month to month. Or if we paid it like all up front, then they knock like, I think 14 cents off. And that's not what that is. They don't do anything like that.
no.
But that
They
sounds
they
like-
are knocking off with this, 30 cents.
Okay,
30 cents from the current.
Mhm.
yeah,
So, in all honesty,
but if we don't use all this, they'll give us a credit towards next year.
No,
we don't do the, we don't pay it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Say next year, it's a mild winter, and instead of using 2,100 gallons, we're gonna use 1,500.
No lips to God's ears.
So,
Mm,
I make a motion to lock in. Is that what we're doing? We voting
I
on it?
think so.
yeah, we need to,
I will second that motion.
that's just what I need to know, so I'll meet with them on Thursday.
Any further discussion? We haven't voted yet, though. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye.
So what do you want the budget line? You still want to say 10, or you want me to drop it to
I'll
85?
leave it alone. I would leave
Yeah,
it.
'cause if
We
we're gonna
can leave
keep
that
having this
alone, but the
96,
lock in is,
Okay,
okay.
just double checking.
Yep.
So the next line is the water tax. We had budgeted 160, it was 200. That seems to hold pretty steady. So the biggest increase, under utilities is, electric and obviously,
Heating.
fuel oil.
Yeah.
And then under, the next one is repair and maintenance.
Hmm.
Again, these numbers are numbers from Tammy. The fire safety and building inspection, that seems to hold pretty, steady. I think it's been $75 for the last, I think I've seen him 3 times since I've been here, and it's always the same amount.
Marion, why is the contractors down so much? Even below what we paid so far year to date?
Well, because Tammy breaks it up, I'm not sure the way Tammy breaks up her numbers.
Yes,
That's part of my confusion, that we have not, part of the problem is we have not paid snow care yet, where we
I
still
thought
owe
that was a
them.
different line.
I know, it's just down the next page.
Oh,
We still owe them $900.
see,
I
I
have,
think we need to discuss that area.
Yeah. we have, because I did like when Kenny Williams came and did the cleaning, I had that listed separate, so I don't know
I
if
should have been listening on her plumbing and heating.
that's where I had it, but I don't know where she had it.
See, that's why I said,
So
she was here.
I just kind of went with her numbers,
None of us were just throwing the call on the wall,
so,
because where she's got the lawn and snow care, she's got current,
well, because we paid them $300.
yep, and that shouldn't have been in there.
No, I agree, but she's kept it there and I've
Should have been
explained it to
under
her.
repair and maintenance.
I agree. Well, we've got lawn and snow care under repair and maintenance, the main category. Which is fine, but to me, that seems like a separate contract, you're saying, it's not lawn care, it was something separate.
So I spoke to Janice prior to the meeting started. in August of last year, which is under this last fiscal year, we got the sewer pumped out for $390.55. And then they come back and put a riser and a lid on it for $440, total of $830.55. Where is that?
As far as I know, that's either she's probably got it under contractors or under materials, because I don't know how, and like I said, I have not, because I just got the final numbers the end of last week. I haven't been able, she sends me a detailed spreadsheet so I can look at things and see where they are. I'm happy to share that with you.
Well,
So
But
are these two separate things? Like, so we could vote on and say we passed a budget that covers those costs tonight, but the other issue is that we would like to have some more clarity and transparency on the line items
yes,
related to these things, but that shouldn't hold us up from, are you saying it should hold us up from?
well, it is, if we're only gonna allocate $1,000 under contractors,
okay.
follow me?
Okay,
But
yeah,
right,
Well,
I got you.
what I will say, Colin, is with my numbers, I had, you'll see on my budget, I have plumbing and heating.
600.
And it was, I have 600 because it was just under that. I think this last year it was 5 something to have the furnace clean.
It was it was on 10/29/25, I did a lot of work on this.
I'm sure you did.
It was $415.
Okay, because I had that there. I mean, I bumped it up to 600 because I don't know what it's gonna cost. But I think she's got it sucked into the 1,600, but I'm not sure.
So what if, where
So-
you have total repair and maintenance, it's down from, so if we bumped that up to be safe in terms of budgeting for covering all the costs of these different things, and we asked Tammy to list things,
Well, she needs to
itemize things so that we can,
Definitely. So
that would
Yeah.
be,
that way we all know
Okay.
where we're at.
and that's, okay.
So
So-
you need to figure out what you're gonna put in on the contract.
Well, what do you think it should be? Is it
I would go to 25. Think.
What, do you have to do it there, or can you do it for the
What do
total
you mean?
repair and
What
maintenance?
was
Yeah, yeah,
Total repair has to add.
Okay, oh, you wanna bump that to 2,500? Okay, I understand.
Only because we don't know. None of us know, like I just said, where did the sewer pump in and.
Right.
And that stuff. Where is that?
Right,
It's just floating out there, you pick it out of the air.
Yeah, gotcha,
We have no
Okay.
idea.
right.
gotcha. Okay,
Okay, so that will bump the total up to,
what did we bump, 2,500?
right, so we bumped
Yeah,
it up
$1,500.
$1,500.
So we're talking 6,505 instead of, right?
Yes,
6,505 for the total.
So that's bumping it up 1,500.
yeah,
And
Oh,
what about,
this, okay,
what about the 600?
right, right here,
Line item for the 600.
No, it's gonna be changed this.
yeah.
oh, okay,
I
okay.
believe so.
All right,
Did
gotcha.
you see that column that I had 600 for the furnace you still want?
Yep, we got one.
Okay,
Okay, so does that make sense, Colin, that the total on, under repair and maintenance is 6,505?
Yep.
That's gonna drive me crazy, 6,505 on a budget, I'd be like,
that's because the one fire inspection is $75.
okay.
Sorry, I have no control over
It's
that.
all right,
So,
I like
and then we have, payroll, based on what the information I got from Tammy, today. 13,000 should cover payroll taxes, and that's actually a little bit of a buffer. Retirement, I have an estimate of, hang on, I got it right in front of me. It's $17,763, but I just had to match our numbers against their numbers. And I asked payroll for the summary, and Tammy sent me a spreadsheet, and I spent like two and a half hours on the phone with Neisler's, making all of the adjustments. And as we're going through them, I'm like, wait a minute, this is not making sense, but we went with it. And I hung up the phone with her. We made the reports. They were due by the 31st, which was a Sunday. And then I went back and realized I pulled out the reports that I have on file for each month and double checked it. And, at least in one case, one of Claire's checks had been counted twice on the spreadsheet. So I immediately called Neisler's. Of course, because the 31st fell on a Sunday, we couldn't do anything until Tuesday. Those corrections have been made again. But she said we'll probably still get charged for that, but then we'll get a credit next year because that's just the way New York State retirement works. So I bumped it to the 19 just to give us a little bit of a buffer. I'm hoping it is not gonna be that high. I'm hoping it's still gonna be closer to the between 17 and 18. But as you can see, we grossly underestimated this year.
And that's with 3 employees.
That's with 3 employees, yes. We'll have 4.
Part-time employees are eligible for the retirement.
They're required, yeah. But the library requires that they participate, and it's percentage based, so it's not a flat rate. And then, you can see, and allowed obviously for, payroll increases, cost of living expenses.
And what about?
What about the 4th person?
That's included with that 134, because the number of hours aren't really changing. It's just now it's
What percent?
divided between 2 people.
The clerk, a part-time.
The position that's vacant right now that we're trying to.
Okay, can you explain to me the jump from 4,000 to 6,000 with healthcare? That's not something the board has determined yet, correct?
No, it's not from 4,000 to 6,000, it's from 4,500 to 6,000.
Right.
Well, that's what we've spent, but we were budgeted at 4,000, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
because I wanted
So
to
that is-
budget for more last year and I got told no.
So that is 4,000 to 6,000, but what about, can you help me to understand the payroll increase? That's about 10% from 125 to 134,000 at the end of both of those, obviously.
Well, I did not come up with the 125, 120,500 payroll, did that last year. There is new people with payroll and I've not been, they're still learning the ropes. So this also includes a buffer because, the new part-timer that I hope to hire and Taylor, may have to cover, like, if I'm out sick or if Claire's out sick. It's just a little buffer. I'm hoping it's a little high.
The glaring issue I see is we're putting a buffer in, but we just got a $60,000 increase and we are still in the red. That this budget is not balanced. And we agreed
Yeah, it
as a
is,
board that we would balance this budget. Isn't there a difference? 261,685 is what we're spending. On
Right,
tax levy is 250,000.
but that's not the only money we have, Josh. There's other income coming in.
Yeah. And,
There
and
there is no certain income coming in that is gonna get us to that place. Am I wrong in that?
Well, there's 10,000 of it that's certain. There's another 600 of it that's certain.
So we're still in the red.
So, and we do get grants from, the, local library services. We get money from Warren County. We don't know how much, but I left it exactly the same. I did not assume an
This
increase.
board agreed to balance the budget. We agreed that we would balance the budget. We cannot approve this.
so this total revenue, you're
That's
having
total
issue with
expense.
that?
Yeah. Because
No,
we
the
have to
top part
budget,
is-
we have to budget based on certain numbers, not on, we hope we get this and we hope we get this and we hope we get
And
this.
these-
This revenue number.
We've gotten the grants, haven't we?
Yes,
But
and
that
every
includes
other
things that are not-
budget that I have looked at from other libraries, they budget based,
Like the donation.
that, yes, they do, and by the grants that they anticipate from the, library aid and through the county, they count on all of that.
And
Okay.
even though this is budgeted here, or if we
There's no
say
private.
Mhm, yes.
it would be budgeted here, we still vote on is there gonna be a raise? How much is there gonna be a raise? Is there gonna be any change to terms of employment? Will there be healthcare covered or whatever? So this is putting in what, this isn't guaranteeing that money spent.
So we went from an issue where we had 77% of our budget was payroll, and we said that's a massive problem, we need to resolve that. And that was part of the reason why it was asked that we get an increase. This budget gets our payroll back up to 70%,
It's
which is also.
63%. 68, I did
68.
63%.
70%. And that's in a danger zone again, right? That's in a place that's not okay. We have.
Actually, it is, because most libraries, that's where the payroll is, because
And we've lined the pockets of the employees instead of increasing book purchases, increasing programming. All those numbers have stayed the same. The only things that have significantly changed are, yes, heating expense, but also significant increases in pay for the employees. That was the same exact problem that got us in the hole we were in before.
We, just
No,
for one point, yeah, I'm
actually.
sorry, go ahead.
Everything was higher than we wanted it to be. And what we said was we needed to increase the revenue, not start decreasing either programming or payroll.
The
or
issue is
any
that
of
the
our-
library could not afford a third employee and they still got one. And we still can't afford a third employee, but we're still talking about getting one. That's the issue. Payroll's too high. It's too high for this library. Payroll should be about 65, 50 to 65. Anytime you get over that.
Where do you get
you're
that
not-
number
You're
from?
not giving the public.
Where do you get
what
that
the-
number from? That's not,
Those are standard numbers. Those,
They're not.
absolutely they are.
that's not what I've,
Absolutely.
that's not what our
Library-
research has shown.
Other libraries I've talked to have different percentages than what you're saying as a standard number, but
There's no library that operates at 77% and has the taxpayers content with that. That's wrong. That's immoral. We asked for a $60,000 increase and the taxpayers are not gonna see any tangible thing for that $60,000
We had
increase.
cut-
We should be disgusted
we
by
had
that.
cut books and we had cut programs. So when you're seeing a number that you're comparing to the,
No,
For
I don't see any raise
we,
in programs or books. That's what I'm saying.
so the
Is that there should be some kind of evidence of, hey, we used your $60,000 wisely and this
We-
doesn't show that.
before we had the vote, we took the 15,000 that we had in the last budget and we cut it to 12,000.
Yep.
And we took all the money for the programming and took it out to zero. Now those programming dollars have gone back in, the book budget has
But
gone back
that's-
up.
I know those are conversations we had, but that's effectively meaningless at this point because we're comparing to the previous budget, right?
I don't think it's meaningless, but,
The
so,
primary thing that libraries offer other than books is service, so that patrons come in, they need help with computers. They need help with running the copy machine, they need help finding a book, et cetera, and forth. They come in, they have a reference questions, whatever. I mean, if you start cutting payroll and whatnot, then we're cutting programs. We don't have, it takes time to process.
How many times can we have this conversation before we say, hey,
I know.
taxpayers, we need 60 grand again and again?
but we
and
don't.
Again, because
we
that's the
don't.
same conversation we've been having.
we don't.
Einstein said the definition of insanity is to keep doing the same exact thing and expect a different outcome, right? That's
That is-
literally what we're doing.
That's true. So go ahead. You.
Oh, well, I haven't done it yet, but,
Oh,
We just had happy talk.
but 50% is a wrong number for payroll. I've looked on the internet, I've spoken. to
50%
people.
on the low end, 65 on the upper end.
No, it's actually more like
No.
65 to 75%.
65 to
That's right.
75 is what I was told by the trustees in Lake George and Northville and Schuylerville.
And if that's your huge complaint about this whole thing, then
My complaint is that there is no tangible improvement for taxpayers through this budget. There is nothing that they can look at and say, my $60,000 went somewhere great. That's my complaint.
There
There are
is,
significant increases in the payroll category, but there are no significant increases that taxpayers will see in programming, in book purchases, and anything of that nature. We have not talked about increasing hours. We've not talked about any of that. Instead, we've increased health insurance and we've increased payroll from 120,000 to 134,000 with no plan of, it's that if the absurdity continues, we will just find ourselves in the same hole again and again and again. We have to,
Well, okay.
it's our responsibility to say, no, we're gonna balance this budget. We're gonna be serious about not letting things get outlandish.
And the way to do that is if inflation means that everything goes up, then we're gonna have to keep on asking
That's why.
for.
The way to do that is to understand that we can't afford a third employee not to do it. That's the way to do that.
Then we're cutting programming.
No, we're not. We don't have that. We don't have a complete
But we
full
have for this.
third employee right now.
Yeah.
What are the numbers in the program? You know, like.
All right, so your point is we need to look at
I
very
still would like to
carefully
do
what we're
painting
adding.
classes.
That's a service. So what are you guys talking about down there now?
He's talking about
Well, my next
eliminating
question.
the painting class because we didn't get the grant for it, but that
So
was,
we're still allocating,
I mean, everything under programming went away until we got the increase. There was gonna be no money for the budget for programming. And under materials, there was $12,000 for books and everything else went away without the increase.
Have we,
So the increase has allowed us to,
but my question here is. We're no longer getting $5,000 grant for this painting stuff, which I'm dead against it anyways. Because you only get 8 to 10, that's all they're allowed to come, and they're getting, the artist is getting paid top dollar, even if 3 come. I'd rather see you take that $5,000, put it in something, I don't care if it's books.
you don't,
But
you don't care.
you see what I'm saying? Well, the book's not gonna go away, if you want
I
it,
hope
if she
not.
wants it, it's gonna be here next year and the year after.
Yeah,
But you got 3 people maybe come in for a painting show,
well, it's not.
okay, 10, whatever, they still bill us top line, regardless. I never heard of such a thing.
okay,
That's like, you,
Well, they-
you three come over to my restaurant tonight and I'm gonna make you dinner, but you told me 10, so you're gonna get charged for 10, even though there's only 3. It makes no sense.
okay. So,
So I assumed that
I mean, we
this was
could
going
cut
right,
that
going out
unless
the
we get
window.
a grant for
And,
it,
yeah,
and try to get a grant for it as we did last time,
Right, well,
they already said we're not
run
gonna
it
get
unless we're.
I did not, we didn't get it for this year, but they will be opening it back up in the fall. And the thing is their grant is the calendar year. They go from January 1 to December 31. So there's a possibility,
you'll
that
get
we
it
could still
before
get
the end of the year.
yes, but
Um,
we wouldn't see the money,
That's why you can't budget based
Okay.
on possibilities.
so.
Right, but
It's not stable numbers.
but that's
that are
why it
Consistent.
went away when we weren't, when we didn't know if we were gonna have the increase. The question that I'm trying to answer is you said, what can we see? Well, we put this stuff back into the budget that we had initially removed when we didn't have the 250. We weren't gonna be able to do it.
Mhm.
Right, you had other spreadsheets that asked for even more, even
Right.
more. And that would have meant expanding the programs.
Right,
Basically, we just wanted to keep the programs the way they are. And in
Right.
order to do that, we needed more money. Otherwise, we were gonna be cutting programs.
right. That's what
So-
the 60,000 did, was it made it so we could keep the status quo.
Yeah, so we never promised taxpayers that.
And we're
This is
not
going to-
touching the reserves and then we're actually putting a little bit in.
Well, with such a close vote, you would expect that this board would want to reach out to the community and have obvious things that the community is gonna glean from.
Mhm.
Well, we could expect that the next time we ask for an increase, that people will go out and they will rally and they will say, absolutely not. The library's better off closed than it is getting more money. That's the reality of the situation. We can keep having the happy talk that makes no sense, or we can actually look at the facts. The taxpayers gave us $60,000 and we're just throwing it out there and we're not, like, they have to see something for this. It's crazy if they're not gonna see something for it.
What I'm trying to explain to you is they are.
Okay,
Nothing
so,
different from what they're already seeing.
Because
Where
we've
do
been
we go?
dipping into reserves to give it to them. So now we don't have to dip into reserve.
That's why I've been saying we need to balance the budget from day one.
Right.
so everybody's on the record. Have we finished going over the different areas of this proposal?
I'm not sure. We started with payroll and then we kind of trickled down into programming and which, I mean,
We've
that
got
actually
the-
caught a little bit.
Yeah,
I mean, I was trying to be reasonable, not, I
Yeah.
mean, the $60,000 increase was not meant for us to go, woo-hoo, let's, see how much money we can spend.
Yeah.
Not at all. I was trying to be
You know, I'm
conservative.
disagreeing, but that's what's happening.
Mhm.
So, okay.
And while we're on the subject, well, we might as well just get it up. Is, I've got nothing against the art, but I'm totally against what they're getting paid. If the guy wants $300 to come in here and there's 50 kids in here, then it's worth it. But it's not worth it for a handful of people. It's not. And another thing that I hear on the street, not down in front of Stewart's like you guys were, you don't know how much I hear. Why they come to me, I got no idea. 3 bitches last week, why the
Okay.
Christmas tree
Let's.
is up in the window, tipped over, when they walk by, people love to walk here and look at the river and look at this and whatever. Boy, Colin, that looks good, that tree tipped over in the front window upstairs. What do you want me to do about it? Call you, Janice, tell you to come get it? But why do they come to me? I don't know. Same way with these programs. And I'm not disagreeing with programs, but we need to change it. Because when you got here that you had 10, and then you had another program, you only had 4, get rid of them. Get some new ones in here. I want to see 25 to 100 here.
Okay, so,
That's my theory.
well, we're a small town and it's
We're
hard
not
to
small town.
25
There's
to
4
100.
There's 4 towns here, Janice.
I
And you
know.
know what? The other thing I heard, which saddens me, is the fire company. How much do you think they're on a budget? What's their budget for the year? Do you know?
I have no idea.
Same as ours now,
Okay,
to run the fire,
okay,
and so there's a lot of talk out there. There is.
okay.
And I'm not gonna get into it, because I'm not gonna get worked up about it.
Okay.
But, like Josh said, the vote was just like this.
Right.
A lot of people didn't even get the newsletter from the school.
A lot of people.
I didn't get the newsletter
Thank
from
you.
the school
Okay.
either. I was, but
That
that's
was
not
fine.
us. That's. the
If you go
school.
to-
And I got 2.
You go to print, and the voting sign was out for a week.
Yeah,
They put it out, and the wind took it off, and it didn't get put back out till 1:30 in the afternoon. But this is all the stuff that I hear, you know what I
Okay.
mean? And
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
okay. So I'm gonna try to drill down to what you want here is more variety in programs. You want to make sure it's programming that we're bumping up the budget with, so it's a service to the people of the town.
I wanna make sure, no matter what it looks like, that people are getting something for their money.
Okay,
People
Right.
are irate, we,
All right.
who votes yes are people that actually come to the library. But this community consists of people who didn't even know we had a library here, and they get a vote too. And a lot of them had no idea, and the wording was, we talked about this, extremely vague and maybe even misleading. And put us in a position where they're not gonna put up with that.
okay. So I think, though, that those are valid concerns. Are they enough that you want to have another meeting? Because we have talked about these since November, and the concerns have remained similar. Or can we work with what we have in front of us and take a vote? I suggest that we work with what we have in front of us, because
Well, I have one question.
Yes.
We've already made some adjustments. Are
Right.
there other adjustments that we can make
Right.
and vote? on?
okay. Yes,
For example, I know healthcare costs have gone up, but we haven't
given approval.
made an approval for $6,000.
Right.
So
That
we
was-
did approve 4,500, so maybe we make that number 4,500. Or even
okay.
if we made it
But
5,000.
then if the healthcare costs did increase, we can't, then we go into the.
We don't,
Is that what you-
it's a stipend.
Okay,
It's not a stipend. We don't.
Oh, okay.
We can help cover, we know we're not covering all of the healthcare
No.
expenses because we
Not
can't
even-
afford
not
that.
even
All right.
half.
No, but what we offer is a stipend to help with that.
Okay, so what if we did 5,000 and reduce that by 1,000? And then there's $1,000 in terms of programming. I know there was a program that was very well attended that I enjoyed very much, the Luzerne Music Center, which I know costs $500. If that went in there, that would be another variety of type of program. It would be half of that 1,000 up there.
What one?
Well, if we're taking this down to 5,000 from 6,000,
Oh.
it wasn't to,
Okay,
I didn't think our goal was to reduce the entirety of the budget, but it was to shift to services. because we already have,
We've already added 1,500.
yeah,
But that was under maintenance and repair.
I understand. So
Okay.
we're still up 500 here. If we're down 1,000 and up 1,500, we're still.
okay, okay, we gotta keep track of that part then.
The question is, if we want more variety in programming, do we want to eliminate the painting class this year and add the visit from the Luzerne?
Why wouldn't you eliminate it? And then if you get a grant
Yeah,
for it,
grant.
wonderful, great, let's do it. But I don't understand why we put it in there if we don't have the grant.
Can we okay,
Because the painting classes aren't popular.
Popular for how many people?
but it, I mean,
They've
I'm
been-
asking Mary. Anybody else, I'm asking Mary.
I think the real issue is, what do we do to get more people to come to the library and take the classes?
yeah,
I really object to, yes, we didn't have this passed by a whole lot, but we had it passed.
yeah,
And let's spend the money and make the library a vibrant place for more people. That's really the issue. Josh, you say that there are people that don't come to the library, and how do we get them in? What,
You have events and you have things that appeal to them.
well, why don't you,
Painting and
why don't
sitting
you,
out on a carpet out by the river don't appeal to many of the people in the
So
town of Dayton,
suggest-
Stony Creek.
We're-
And they don't appeal to me either, so I can relate.
so what do you think would bring more people in?
What's been successful in the past? They had a taxidermy class here, that was phenomenally attended. We live in a rustic area that celebrates the Adirondacks. Why don't we do that? Why don't we have events and classes that celebrate the Adirondacks? And things that we know are stable and are gonna bring people in. When fishing season starts, we should do something about fishing. When hunting season starts, we should have something about hunting. That's what the people of our area like, right? We wanna meet them where they're at. We're just
So-
appealing to the people who always come here, and it's just consistently ticking people off.
Well, that's a really good idea.
I
We should
did
do that.
call about the taxidermy class. I called Erin and she is no longer available or interested. And as far as like hunting classes, they already do that at the VFW. And so I was like, do we do it? And they do it? I mean, how,
Yeah.
I don't know, is there a
You could have-
different thing we could do versus?
You could have a contest. You could, we had a sportsman's event. I've always wanted to do it and never done it. But we didn't have enough room in our building for the amount of people that came out. There was 250 people that came out, and we figured that we would probably get 85. So this area is gonna draw that kind of thing in,
What do you
and
mean, who did this event?
my church,
What was it? I mean, what did you do?
we called it a sportsman's reload. We had giveaways, we had mounts everywhere, people like contests of who got the biggest deer that year, that kind of thing. It was just essentially at its core, there was obviously preaching there, but essentially at its core, a bunch of guys getting together just to have a good time, just to talk about hunting, just to reminisce about it, right? I've even heard people say good things about, I don't know what the group's name is, but about the foraging and all that kind of thing, gardening, foraging,
Yeah,
those
we've
kind of
done that
things
2
are-
years in a row. Last year it was very successful. This year it was, nobody showed up for foraging.
Yeah.
So it's the, part of it, it's not just so much, are you interested, but it's timing. Not every date works for everybody, and I can't schedule programming at the library on a day that there's nothing else going on in town, because then I never have a program. It's just, unfortunately, there's no real like science or algorithm to it. It's just
There is though, there is.
yes and no.
Know the people, know the pulse of the area is pretty important, and we're all the people of this area. I mean, Colin is just as hillbilly as I am. We know what it's like to grow up in this area. We know what it's like to be from this area.
So
And
do
this
I.
library is not appealing to us. That's the issue, you know
But
what I
there's
mean?
other people in this area that it is appealing.
Not
It
everybody.
is.
Nobody.
If we wanna stay the same ho-hum forever and always, then we can continue doing that. But we have to appeal to the people who actually pay the taxes, or they're just gonna continue to get irate.
All right, so if we're gonna have another meeting, because we have to pass this by the end of June, and we're not gonna stay here and just say the same things over and over again all night. then we have to set the date for the next meeting. We have to have some other programming to present as
Well,
possibilities.
If you,
I don't think you do. I think you need to allocate how much money you want for program.
So we don't have to have it listed what exactly
I
it's for.
just made a statement, that art to me isn't working.
he's,
Now, Mary, how many people are coming here on the 12th?
I don't know, Claire, do you know how many are signed up for the Anders class as of right now?
Personally, 8 people.
8. And you're paying them? Sporting,
But he's also one that, yeah, he says 10, but he's done as many as 14. If they come and they want to paint.
well, he's got a
he does
different
more.
contract up to 11 people.
Right,
Okay.
but he will do more and he usually does at least one for one,
$28 or $27 a person.
right?
Mhm.
I rather first see you go by 30 paint by number kids. And have kids come in here more than 11, maybe there'd be 15, maybe there'd be 20, maybe some adults. You know, and here you go, you know, you pick out which picture you wanna paint, and you paint by number, it's part of an art class. I'm just thinking, we need more for our money. That's what I feel,
Mhm.
you know?
Okay,
And all these programs that you have here, and I appreciate you laying out how many come and go and whatever. I think we have to walk it all the way and create some new ones, and I know it's hard, it is hard. I'm not saying it isn't. I also feel that we don't need art now, it's summer, people are outside, they're playing, the weather, whatever. In the winter, art class, I think, is a great thing.
people, I always see people out on hiking trails, like with their easels of painting the natural landscape, loving the art outside in the summer.
Well,
Honestly.
could be, that's what I'm saying, but they're not coming
Well,
in
I
here.
mean, we do have some new programs coming this year. I mean, I do keep trying.
And I'm not disagreeing,
You
I'm not
know,
disagreeing
but
with it at all, I don't want
It's
you
just, I
to
mean,
think that I'm down on you, I'm not, I'm just saying, I feel, that's my opinion. We need more for our money. And the taxpayers need more for their,
so what I'm hearing is you don't want this money necessarily allocated to painting classes, but you're not against it being allocated to programming.
correct. You know, maybe they don't wanna put 5 down, maybe they wanna put 3,500, I don't care. But I just feel we could get more for our money, that's all I'm saying.
All right, so
Well, I make a motion that we accept the budget and that we take,
We've
take-
already.
Wait,
voted
let her
and
finish,
approved
please.
Not
go
passing
ahead.
up.
She's
the
making a
budget.
motion, Josh, you have to wait and let her
I
finish.
mean, that's what we have to do, right?
Yeah,
Before she was on the board, we made,
Josh, you have to let her finish Robert's rules, she's making a motion, you have to wait a second.
okay,
That we accept the budget and that we play around with the programming to make it, to have more relevant and diverse programs.
Okay, is there a second to that? I second that motion. And now we can have discussion.
we as a board passed a resolution to not pass another unbalanced budget. We have $250,000 that the taxpayers give us, our budget needs to be under that.
Okay,
I feel. And we really can't, we need to have another meeting. And my reason is this, that I'd like to ask Marion to go back to Tammy. Define where some of this stuff is. Because we're guessing, so we might be able to trim a lot of different numbers here. That's what I'm.
so are you, okay,
I'm
so
just
there's a
making a
motion,
statement.
there's a second, there's
There's a-
discussion.
Now we're on discussion.
All right, so now we vote on the motion that's.
No, wait, I would like to say something as part of the discussion.
Okay,
The budget is balanced. It's bad practice to include grants that you haven't had before that are speculative. But if we've had I mean, my understanding is that some of these grants we've had before and we expect to have.
That's still
again.
not stable.
That is not, that
And we
is,
just had our.
all right,
Now,
Josh,
Hey, that makes no
don't
sense.
interrupt, please.
There's no logic there. That's the problem is we
All right.
keep having illogical
So in
conversations.
Robert's rules, the motion is on the floor, it's been seconded, there's been discussion.
Can I have a
Yes.
question. Which grants are listed here that we don't have?
Well, we know that the art gone for this
But
year.
that's not listed as a, as.
Well,
Yeah.
we have
Saying that
Class
grants that we had in the past need to be considered stable and
But,
go.
but they're not,
that is not
They're
considered.
not there. But
Right.
her point is nonsense because the fact.
Okay, but
that we
that's.
just had a grant taken away.
Or not, that's not, we're voting on this budget and those,
What
There's
in the
no
revenue, what in the revenue
but
is
there's
speculative?
there's nothing in the revenue that is a grant that we do not.
One of the revenue is uncertain, all of the top category. 2,900 is all uncertain income. We don't know what that's gonna look like. Actually, that 7,000 even is uncertain income. Our budget should be under 250,000. You could include the state and county funds if these are stable and assured.
But they're not.
Exactly.
We
So
get them.
We got less last year than we did the year before.
What happens when the library no longer has these CDs that we can just keep dipping into? Like, I don't know. I feel like I speak another language sometimes. You know, like balanced budgets are a good thing. That's a positive. We voted to affirm that. Why do we view it as an enemy? We should be seeking a balanced budget.
So we're, unless somebody is amending the motion on the floor, and we've had discussion, is to vote on what is in front of us. Is that correct?
Unless
It is. I wonder if we should have another meeting
Another
to,
meeting.
to. If it's, when we need to vote on this by
The end of
the end
June.
of June. So if there's questions about some of the revenue, if there's questions about some of the expenditures, could we get that clarified?
Well,
And
it's,
work towards it. I mean, I have to sit down with Tammy.
Tammy should have it on her spreadsheet on the computer.
Well, that's what I got.
Where did she put that, for example, that $900 septic bill? Where is it?
Yeah,
Show us where it is. So if it's in this, then we don't need to put it in that. So there's 900 we saved.
right.
Now, and there's more examples, just as I spoke through this.
so is it a question of where things are, or is it a question of the total? That's what I'm.
I think it's a
confused about.
combination of those two things.
It's without knowing where things are, we're not sure what the total really is.
So we don't know, Beth, if, for example, if, and I'm just making this up, if that $900 sewer bill, okay, is it under plumbing and heating? Is it under general maintenance? Is it under contractors? We don't know. So if we back it out of there, we can save $1,000 because we know it's not even in there. So we've set it too high.
Who has to amend the motion? Beth made the motion, I seconded it. If we're gonna amend it to not be voting on this budget
Just put
tonight.
up the vote.
And we're gonna-
Shut down.
Or it could be withdrawn, but
Do you
Either
want to
vote.
withdraw the motion?
I'm still a little confused. So this plumbing thing, is it a question of taking it out of one bucket and putting it into another bucket?
That is my
In which
understanding.
case,
because
that
that doesn't
doesn't,
change the end.
that doesn't change the bottom line whatsoever. To me, it sounds like the main question is whether we're allowed to consider this budget balance if we're counting money like interest income and front desk donations and all these things. And of course, we can count those things. We've been that. Marion went to a lot of trouble and Colin also to enumerate all these things. And we're not unless I'm
Because they went through trouble.
wrong here, are we counting things that are speculative?
The idea is that the trouble means that they,
But I understand.
There's
the
that
second half of it.
credibility
I
to the
appreciate
number.
their
No,
effort.
they-
That doesn't mean that
it means
That
that numbers are
makes
credible.
something morally credible or not. Correct.
Okay,
Well, I'm pretty, I mean, I don't know why we would not do deposits from the front desk, because people are in here just about every day, copying, printing, faxing.
Right.
It's a daily thing. It's very rare that we don't do any photocopying or printing.
And we've doubled what we had anticipated.
So,
I don't claim to be a prophet, but when we said we were gonna ask for $60,000, I said that irresponsibility would continue because we have a philosophical issue where we think that money's just expendable and we can pull it off trees and we can do that kind of thing. And that's what this budget is. It is that.
It's
I don't find that offensive.
all right.
It's not
So-
pulling it off trees
No.
at all. It's very,
No, it's putting it in the road.
So I think we have the motion, we had the second, we've had discussion. We're gonna take a vote on this budget. And everybody gets a chance to vote their conscience. And, so all in favor of the budget in front of us for 26-27, Aye.
I,
All opposed?
I oppose.
Okay,
So we need to reach out to Robert and ask what happens now, because we previously had a referendum, whatever you want to say, that said that we would balance the budget, and we just agreed to pass a budget that doesn't balance the budget. We just violated. our-
definition, okay, not understand the
No,
definition.
under basic
All right.
budgeting rules.
so I will reach out and make sure that we have clarified that. We have on new business, we have the new long-range plan. And it's not really new business. It's just that our
Current one we have
our
expires
previous,
of
it
next year.
expires at the end of next year. I'm just putting it out there that we will have to start gathering data, doing surveys and creating a committee. We don't have to do that tonight, but the new
For
long,
what, Dennis?
the long-range plan that has to be
Oh.
submitted to
The 3-year
South
one.
and Board of
We'll be
Regents.
starting year 3, July 1st, so we do need to start thinking about that. I wasn't gonna bring it up this quick, but it's on my radar.
I get nervous. Okay. So you took care of what you were gonna have in new business,
No,
right?
yeah,
Oh,
I got
okay.
one more thing.
Okay,
I had a meeting with the New York State Health Department last week. For myself, basically for myself, but I had a question here in regards to. I'm always thinking safety and health reasons here.
I'm not gonna this time.
I'm sorry.
I'm trying to hold it, but I can't.
The tank that we got out here for cold water is strictly illegal because we do not have a 3-bay sink after everyday use. Wash, rinse, sanitize.
okay,
People could get sick, contamination, whatever.
okay.
I'd like to make a motion, and I already got a price on it. That we put in the portable water tanks, they're 5-gallon water tanks. The unit costs like $110. You push one button, you get cold water, push the next button, you get hot water.
Yeah.
And that eliminates a lot of
Is it $110
for the unit.
For the unit, and then
for
you
the
have to
unit?
find
And
a
then
One in the water, it's like. I looked around, they're like 15 and change, 16, somewhere in that area, for 5-gallon.
What are we using now?
Just
We got
like a
we're just
cooler,
using-
like a
we have a-
Gatorade cooler?
Yeah, we have a
It's
cooler
like a Campbell beverage tank out here, Josh.
Yeah.
and Colin worries about the hot water.
Well, I'm worried about hot water, somebody gets there. I'm also worried about
The cold
that
water.
not getting washed
Yeah.
and sterilized after every day. In
Six-
fact, the inspector said to me, technically, that should be taken to somewhere, a restaurant that's got a 3-bay sink, or a firehouse with a 3-bay sink that has a New York State Health Department license. This
Okay.
would eliminate a lot.
Yeah, no, that sounds like, it's $16 for the water, like how often?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much I have.
Okay,
My biggest downfall in this, and I'm gonna bring up right now, is. Are the girls capable of lifting 5 gallons of water and tipping it bottom side up into that unit?
doesn't,
Yeah, 'cause
Doesn't-
it is heavy.
don't the people that bring it?
No,
fill it?
no, they
They
deliver.
deliver a bunch of them? Okay,
A unit,
can you do that?
so we get rid of the beverage tank, you get rid of the coffee pot. It's about $110.
50-pound
Okay.
heat bag.
Plug it in. Push one button, it's cold water.
Mhm.
Push the next button, it's hot water for tea, coffee, whatever.
Yep.
I feel it's a lot safer. It's definitely more sanitary by all means.
Okay.
My thing is, I don't know if you girls are
No, the
capable.
hot, well,
It's a 5-gallon container of water.
I don't think I could. Claire
Claire
could do
can,
it.
yes, it's instant.
Claire has no issue with it.
Okay.
She's the one that usually does the water cool that we have.
Are you comfortable with that, Claire? Then I'm just trying, I wanna,
It's consolidated.
but I'm not gonna,
keep it safe.
we're not gonna
keep
spend the
it-
money and then we can't do it, you know what I
Okay.
mean?
Yeah, no, and
All right.
it
Because
take a whole lot less
a
space.
gallon of
yeah.
water is about 8 pounds and 5 is 40, it's a little over
Yep.
40, obviously there.
Okay,
But I'd like to make a motion that we do buy that. I feel it's a lot safer, a lot more.
that
All the way
sounds great.
I don't
you know
think
where
we need a, I don't think we need a
have to vote
motion.
on
It-
that.
It's
No,
within,
it's within my spending purview. You can
Yeah.
Tell me where you found it.
Right, Lutheran Hardware.
Okay.
They carry the water, they get the unit, I just order one, hold on.
Okay,
I
so
think
did they
it's a good
deliver the
idea.
water every little while?
No, I'd bring out 2 or 3 tanks and just send them back.
Okay, cool. So you can just do that, put it on our account and we'll pay for it next month.
Yeah, I'll get one order.
All right. Do you have any other new business?
Is that Tony for tonight?
Have you? Okay.
Yeah.
Time for public comments. Yes. Can you say your name and where you're from?
I'm from Lake. So, I just thought there was a lot of good points, tonight, and I think I mentioned at the last meeting that I think data is really critical in making decisions, and I don't think, from what I've observed, I think that, and just to make sure my understanding is correct, Tammy does not work, she works for the library, right? The library pays her.
Mhm.
Tammy needs to be accountable to everybody here and not just have conversations with Marion. Not that Marion can't convey information,
Mhm.
but in a budget, you have to have an understanding of what each line item is. And I didn't hear that people had that kind of understanding tonight.
Mhm.
And I agree that when you have a budget meeting, that she needs to be here, Tammy needs to be here.
Mhm.
Because it sounds like you don't even know what stuff means, and I don't. So,
I'm not to interrupt you, but we really can afford to pay him to come.
She bills out a little.
Yeah, she's,
$100.
she does, she's a independent
so
contractor.
instead of just talking to you, can she, video herself on Zoom like I used to do and just distribute it to the people who need to make the decisions? I mean, I think that's fine.
Yeah, well, I mean, she talks with Colin too.
But she can charge us whatever she's gonna charge. If you can't pass a budget, you don't understand.
Right.
It's worth the
Well,
money.
I can tell you that I'm not arguing with you in any way, shape or form, but I can tell you it's less confusing than it was 2 years ago.
I'm sure it is. It has nothing to do with anybody here. It's just,
But no, it is, she does things a little bit differently than I do, and we've been working diligently at trying to get on the same page.
well, I really like to see, I mean, as somebody who's coming on here and other people who are before me don't understand it, I think it's important, because I'm not a money person, but, I don't think it's out of our budget to pay her to videotape herself and we all hear the same information at the same time, period. I understand that you can't rely on grants that we haven't had before. It sounds like that's speculative. I don't know if it was included in the budget, but I agree in that we can't count on that because
There were no grants
and there
that
were
we
no
don't
grants
have
in there.
that
You
were in
said
the
that.
budget.
So that piece is good. Okay, I'm happy to hear that. I did appreciate the comment, about the copy printing and faxing and raising that price just a little bit because in the response to that, it was like, well, people usually leave money and I love that people do that, but we're all struggling and that might go away. And so I think it's also easier to track hard and fast what you're charging people and that could help us in the end. So I do agree with that. One of the things that I thought too would be interesting, and I don't know anything about it, is coming to the meeting with the research, like I heard it mentioned that, other libraries do this or do that, and I'm sure they do, but I would like to see, it would be great to see that. It would be helpful. And again, even just seeing it, it's simply a watermark. It's not like we're automatically gonna say it's okay for this library, but it's helpful to show other people, myself included, because I have no idea what libraries budget. So that was I thought that was really a good statement. And then I want to come back to something that was mentioned at the last meeting about the mailings. And I think that, Colin, you mentioned it, and I really like that, which is the tax department, when they send things, everybody's a taxpayer. One of the things I was really hoping for in the budget somewhere would be money to frequently, several times a year, at least twice, send mailers to the people, everybody who's a taxpayer here to let them know what's going on. That's the place for your line items. That's the place for your accountability. That's the place to say, hey, we thought we were gonna get that grant and we didn't, and we're not doing that. And I thought that was a good suggestion. Then we know it gets to people.
So you're talking like a biannual, newsletter?
What we all think is helpful, but I definitely like that idea. I've been thinking about that one. The other thing I said on, I had to go on 411.org when I ran for this position. So one of the things I thought would be really helpful selfishly for me are things like HVAC repair, small engine repair, things like that, because God forbid something happens to my husband, I'm like up the creek. And I mean, a small engine, like, how do I fix my lawnmower? You know, stuff like that.
You're
I
talking
think-
about that as a program.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
yeah, that,
Yep.
that would be
Yep.
helpful.
Mhm.
That's something that I would really love. And, I do hear a lot of that here, so I think that that's already, that seed's already in your garden, so that's a good thing. But you know, you approved it. I don't know what's gonna happen after this, but I didn't really understand all the categories, and I hope that you do. And I really think that that CPA, I don't care what she costs, that it is a meeting that has to be with all people,
Mm,
not just, that I have no issue with Mary, and it's just that y'all have to talk, and if Marion is on the spot and doesn't have an answer,
Yeah.
that's not helpful.
Yeah, we could put that,
So-
like, when we started the conversations way back in
Way back.
November,
You know?
we could at least at one of those points have included her for us if it was, you know, yeah, I get it.
Just a thought, but I think everybody here.
If she is willing to come up here, or we can go down there, but we probably would have more room here, would be my guess,
Okay.
based on conversation.
It's just a thought, but it's clear that everybody cares, no matter what
Mhm.
perspective you're coming from, so, thank you, all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
State your name and where you're from.
Tarson's like concerned. Thank you for your struggle. Things are never easy, but I think it is helpful to talk about it. In terms of Tammy, I'm wondering, so we don't have to pay for her transportation and everything. She could zoom in
Mhm,
to your meetings.
mhm.
And just be here for the amount of time that you need and not comfortable with the whole meeting.
Yeah,
Because I think it's true, it's expensive, and we have the technology, obviously,
Mhm.
using it now, so,
mhm.
yeah. It's been good to meet. Good luck, Josh. Thanks for all your
Mhm.
service and your hard work and,
Thank you.
and your attention to, the people's pocketbook.
Mhm.
And I think maybe you might miss your voice in that area.
It'll be different without me, right? For sure.
So, yeah, good luck.
Mhm.
Thank you again. Thanks for talking.
Thank you. Anyone else? State your name and where you're from.
Just one quick thing, honey, I haven't had a chance to even tell you, Saratoga Clark and Hudson Railway is offering a program on railway history in the area.
Oh,
free of
great.
charge. Including, a discussion about Teddy's Run. When Teddy Roosevelt went from Northbridge, Washington DC, right through our town, he was suing the presidency.
I would go to that.
Great, yeah,
Yeah,
great,
so,
great.
we'll figure out a time. It'll be free of our passenger conductors.
Mhm.
And we're gonna make it as interesting as possible.
Great, thank you.
Josh, I'd like to thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
what are you gonna do with all your time?
Oh,
There's,
I can't see Bible Institute every Tuesday, once a month for this, so.
Okay.
you got to volunteer when things go really bad.
Mhm.
And several of the board members, and the only reason I know is because I sit over there.
Mhm.
A lot of foul play. We have come a long ways.
The death threats have slowed, that's for sure.
I know. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. And with that, I am going to adjourn the meeting.
Wait, I'll make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Oh, good, thank you.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
And it is
Meeting adjourned. It's 8:08.